Well, yeah, this is definitely gonna be a two story.
We'll see how long the footage is, but it probably is.
It's okay. It's okay.
Oh no, it looks like maybe it won't be.
Like 20 minutes.
Maybe like 30.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I'm feeling away, I'm feeling away, I'm feeling away about you. Yeah, I know you're not my lady, but I still call you baby. Arguments going crazy, now you tripping off my new thing, but we ain't even got our own thing. Moving slow in the fast lane, I'm feeling away, I'm feeling away, I'm feeling away about.
Daisy's story is way more dramatic.
Yeah, you can tell your story.
It's really, honestly, it's just because I think it's because I came out like younger. Like I came out when you're kind of first experiencing those confusing emotions and stuff like that. Not first, because I was definitely like similar to your story, like in preschool, in kindergarten, kissing girls in secret. Had them at the sleepovers.
I feel like that's all lesbian childhood stories.
Yes, like had them at the sleepovers. Party at my house, you feel me?
Inviting girls over.
Had all the girls over, you feel me? Like, that was definitely, you know, where I had crushes on girls. I know I did. But the girls liked me back, you feel me? I whisper to them, I say something to them, like, you know, you trying to kiss over here, you trying to kiss over there.
You should tell the story about the sleepover.
That's not for this video. If you want to know the story about the sleepover, from when I was a kid and how I used to bag them.
It is so funny.
We can talk about that in a different way.
Because it is
Drop it in
so
the comments.
hard.
Drop it in the comments if you're trying to hear about how Daisy used to bag at the sleepovers.
Oh my god. Oh
We can talk about that at a different time. But yeah, it started at the sleepovers, all that type of stuff. And I was, you know, bagging girls in secret. I think I kind of went through the transition of, okay, I'm getting older now. I like girls. I did like boys. I had boyfriends. I had crushes on boys and stuff like that. And I think I started by calling myself bisexual. Like, I am bisexual when I first came out. This was around, like, fresh out of middle school, right into high school, like freshman year. Mm-hmm. I was going through, like, a transition where I just got in trouble back in Stockton at my mom's house. So she was like, well, you're going to go live with your dad, and sent me to go live with Pops out in the Bay Area. So I was living in Oakland away from all my siblings, which meant I get to just be me. Ain't nobody really gonna fact check my stories, you know what I mean? I could just go and be this kid that I wanted to be, whoever she was. I went to a new high school, and I went to a high school with my cousin, and he was openly gay. So he kicked it with all the gay boys, and he was in the GSA, the Gay Straight Alliance, and so he was actually one of the first people that I, like, comfortably told, like, I like girls, like, because I knew he liked boys. Like, he's not going to be mad at me. Right. He's gonna nurture me. He started taking me to, like, the clubs around the area, because the Bay Area has always had, like, a really supportive gay culture, especially for, like, teens and kids and stuff like that, just as far as, like, trying to protect them young, because it also had a bad gay culture, you know what I mean? Just a lot of people who were being bullied for it at the same time. Mm-hmm. So the community out there, they activated right away. It was okay to be open, you know. San Francisco, it was known as, like, you know, Rainbow Capital. Yes. Like, you know, so I was around stuff like that to where it was easy for me to start having conversations like that at a younger age. Like, I think Pennsylvania is a lot more conservative.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you're surrounded by norm more so out here growing up than the things I experienced. So I go into high school, and I'm like, okay, I'm bisexual. Yeah, I like girls too. And I told my cousin first. And I kind of came out, I would say, like, passive aggressively to my friends. Like, there wasn't really a point with my friends back home in Stockton where I had to have that hard conversation, because I came out when I was in the Bay Area. So, like, when I was in the Bay Area, I just introduced myself as bisexual to that crowd. They didn't know me. I was new in school. So, like, okay, cool. Like, we knew that about her. Whatever. She likes girls. And then back home, I changed my whole MySpace. And I put rainbows all over my shit. I'll never forget. It was like this black background with, like, all these rainbows everywhere. And I was like, yeah, I'm gay. I like girls. And I put it in my little description. I, like, changed my top 8 around. Yeah, like, I'm just going to put it on the page. They just going to know. Ain't nobody going to ask me. I did get bullied a little bit that way, though. Like, people bullied me online, for sure. people were making up stories about me in the locker rooms, like saying like girls were running from me in the locker room because I like girls and like weird shit.
Oh my
like,
God, that's such a childish thing to do.
It was petty, like, and like people started making rumors about like me and my best friends. Like all of a sudden, I'm dating everybody I'm talking to. Like it was like I was going through stuff like that, to where I did actually like I lost some close friends because not because they didn't accept me, but they didn't accept that being portrayed for them.
Right.
Like I love you, girl, but I'm not gay, and they're saying we're gay, so I'm cool off you. We're not gonna kick it. Like I lost friends because of that, for sure, and it was just really hard for me to go through when I was a kid. So I went through all of that in high school and in quiet. I didn't really tell my parents I was going through it. I was just going through it, but I always had a thing for older girls. So when I came out, I actually got caught. High-key got caught in a situation with a girl who was like 10, 12 years older than me. I was like 15. This is still freshman year in high school.
Crazy.
And my dad used to leave me with his phone to go to work. He used to leave me his cell phone. He'd go to work. He'd be like, call me on my work phone if you need me, because I was the only kid at the time living in his house.
Right.
So he left me his cell phone. And when he would leave me his cell phone, that's my number. So I tell people, like, hit me at this time. If I want to hit you back, I ain't got my phone. Like, that type of thing. I was also in the AIM chat rooms and all that. Macking. Passing out my phone number. I'd be like, it only works from this time to that time. So I had it all figured out, right?
Your dad was pissed.
Oh, he was pissed.
Because phones didn't used to be free during the day.
Not at all. Not at all. I was running them up. Running them in. Oh, no, he had Boost Mobile. Our minutes was free back then. Our minutes was free. He wasn't getting charged, I promise you. Boost Mobile always been down. Their data was shit. But I can get a call out. I can get a text out. I was on the Boost. So I'm calling people left and right. Well, there was this girl that I was talking to, and for her, I had made up a completely different identity. So she thought she was texting my phone. She thought I was about 22 or 21.
Oh, see. That's how people be getting caught up.
She thought I was going to work every day when I was going to school every day. Yo, she thought my name was Keisha.
Right.
I was lying like a motherfucker. She used to drop me off like food, money, candy. Like she used to bring me everything I wanted like right before I went into school. But I had this like book bag that looked like kind of like it could be a briefcase. So I used to pretend like I was just on my way to work. Like I was just walking past the little high school that was right here. So I'd go to the BART station that was right up the street. So she, I used to be, hey, what's up with you? Talking to her. Well, one day she called me, while my dad had my phone, or his phone. And she was like, is Keisha there? Because at this point she's thinking her girlfriend's phone just got answered by a nigga. So my dad's like, Keisha, hey, yo, who this? Thinking like, yo, so then they start getting into it. My dad was like, don't know Keisha live here. I don't know what she's talking about. And I think she thought, like, she's talking to my dude. Like, it was just real dramatic. So my dad stormed in the room. Who is this? Who is this person calling my phone? Da, 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 da. And I can't remember what lie I made up. Like, I can't remember what lie I made up. I swear to God till this day. But I got out of it with my dad in that moment. Like, some way, shape, or form, I convinced my dad that was not what he thought it was. I don't know who that person is. They obviously got somebody playing on their phone. Like, Keisha, dad, come on now. Keisha, like, stop. So, you feel me? Talked him down. Went to my mom's house. Somehow, like, my mom then found something, or I think it was like my grandma like found a poem that I wrote. Something happened to where over at my mom's house I got caught in a situation with the girl shit. Mm-hmm. So my mom at this point is like, okay, so you like girls, like you like girls, don't you? Like just tell the truth, you know what I mean? Tell the truth. And so I'm like, yeah, like I think I like girls. And I start crying. My mom, like, she held me. Oh, baby, it's gonna be okay. You're just being you. I just rather you be honest. Like, I just want you to love yourself. It's okay. Like, she's like, but you're going to have to tell your dad. You're going to have to tell him. She was like, because I can't tell him. So I think if one thing I wish my mom would have let me tell my dad in my own time. But, like, her reaction as a parent was, well, you told me, so now you call your dad. You need to go tell him. And I just feel like as a parent now, like if Xavier gave me that, I'm not gonna lie, I'd probably tell you. Like I'd tell you because you're my wife, so like I'd make sure you knew that information. Like just so you know, Xavier came out and told me that he's gay. Like I would tell you, but I would tell you not to say anything to him until he was comfortable to talk to you. You feel me? Like because it's your right as a parent to know, but it's his right to come out when he feels comfortable. You know what I mean? So I would have played it like that, but my mom was like, "Nah, go ahead and deliver your message. You got something to talk about."
What's crazy though is that if he came out to me and then he told me he didn't tell anybody else, I probably wouldn't tell you. Because of the loyalty, like I would, like you said, like I would want him to come out in his own time, and I wouldn't want to spill his beans or like make him feel like he couldn't trust me. Because first of all, I don't think that this would ever happen, but like if for some reason he did come to me and was just like, please don't say anything to anybody else, like, you know, I totally wouldn't.
I just feel like it's a little, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like that's a little bit where the step-parent dynamic does kick in.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like that's not, like,
place.
It is my place for him to trust me, to tell me as a parent, but it's just not I just don't feel like it's my place to keep something like that from you.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I just feel like that's where that crosses. I feel like that's where that difference comes in. Like, you as biological mom, you're like, yeah, death till death, we gotta keep this. But, like, me as stepmom, I'm like, fuck, like, that's her biological son. You feel me? That kicks in for me, like, she needs to know something like this.
I mean, I feel that.
Well, so then you'd be okay with me keeping that secret then? Because now you're saying it's cool. Like,
no,
you'd be okay with me keeping it?
I mean, I'm just saying, like, I would be obviously a little bit, like, not upset, but, like, dang, like, why wouldn't you have told me too? Like, you know what I mean? Like that he didn't tell me though, not that you didn't tell me, because I wouldn't put that on you. Like I don't feel like I would put that on you, because like that's not your responsibility.
So I'm okay to keep the secret.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? I think so.
Okay, so this is on camera, so that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, because like I said, like I wouldn't want to. I would like.
You wouldn't want his loyalty.
Yeah, out of respect for people coming out. Like you just don't out people. Like it doesn't matter. I think it doesn't matter who it is. Like. Kid, friend, family member, whatever, like it's just when someone's ready to come out, they'll come out. It's not your responsibility to drag them or like push them out of the closet. Like that's not your, like if you're uncomfortable, you can remove yourself from the situation,
right? Period.
Like that's all it comes down to. Let people tell their own stories.
I agree. So mom, you should let me tell my own damn story, but I mean, this is in hindsight though, y'all. We gotta think about this. For me too, like,
and it was a different time back then.
This is 10 years ago. This is 11 years ago now. You know what I mean? This is a whole different era where this was way nowhere near all the way normal, like at all. Even though there was normalcy in California, it still wasn't normal. So mom tells me to tell dad. This is where the hard call comes in. I call my dad, and at this point, I'm just thinking of everything that we've been through. I've lied, you know, I've backtracked conversations with him, and now it's to the point where I've admitted it to my mom, so if I don't tell him, she's going to tell him, is what I'm thinking in my head. So I called my dad, and I told him, I'm like, look, dad, like, I got to tell you something, and I'm crying. He's like, what? Just tell me. Like, my dad just starts getting mad, like, right off rip. Like, he's like...
probably thinking you're pregnant or something.
Yeah, like, he's like, what? Just tell me. Like, just tell me what you guys say. Just tell me. And I'm just like, yo, like... Dad, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. He's like, just tell me what you gotta say. What? And I was like, I think I like girls. Like, I just started crying. Like, I think I like girls. He's like, you think? You don't think? You know. Own it. Is that what it is? Is that what it is? Like, he just started screaming at me, and I'm just like, yeah. Like, I like girls. I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I was crying so hard. I just felt like it was something wrong with me. And, like, my dad, he took it hard. Like, my dad, he did. Like I said, this is in hindsight. I know that there are still parts of my father to where there are certain aspects that he doesn't, like, he just will never, he just won't.
He's not fully
He's not, yeah, that's just not, it does not cross with what he believes in, which I can't be mad at that at all.
That's
like,
how my dad is.
Right, if that's just, that's him, I'm okay with that for him. But there was, like, you know, just this transition that we had to go through in our relationship. I
was going to say, and I experienced a little bit of this too, just like she experienced it with some of my family.
Yeah, like you need
even
to
though she's been out of the closet since forever, like she's still,
yeah, when I started talking ring on finger with her, I think that's like that riled up something in him. Because for him too, it was just like, I think he always had that hope in him, like, but maybe she'll just marry a man. Maybe she'll just marry a man. You know what I mean? So, like, when it came down to you coming into the picture, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to marry this one, he was like, oh, no. Like, Because before that, I was doing me. I was bouncing around. I was just like my dad. But now I want to marry a girl. He was like, oh, hell no. Like, I think
now that's where I draw the line. Like,
yeah, I think it stirred something up in him. That even at the time, he probably couldn't even identify. You know what I mean? It was subconscious. But it rocked him. Like, he was back.
Wasn't good for him.
He was back to that space. And so, me and my dad, we did a lot of push and pull when it comes to the gay thing. Like, there were times where I thought we were super cool. There were times where I was just like, wow, he just really is not good with this. Like, it's just not, it's not his thing, which it's okay. Like, at this point, I've settled with the reality of us just living we just have two solid different beliefs in this. And that's okay. Like, that's completely okay, because I love my father for who he is and what he's capable of in this, like, what he's capable of respecting. He respects my home. He respects my marriage. He loves the hell out of my son. You know what I mean? Adores him. And he adores my wife. Like, genuinely, he loves them as people. There's a fundamental aspect of it that he doesn't agree with, but he never, like, he does not treat them, you know, any type of way. Like, he loves them as his family. So, as long as he respects that and he continues to do that, like, it's cool. And when there was a lot of turmoil, there was a point where I thought that he would not get to that point. And when it got there, I did. I cut my dad off. I cut him off for an entire year. I did not speak to my father. I did not answer a call. We did not speak at all. Yeah, it was really hard. But I just was like, if this can't be respected, I have nothing for it. And at that point for me, it did not matter who you were. It did not matter who you were. I was going through the reality of I'm an active duty soldier in the military. These people barely respect the fact that I say wife. You know what I mean? That was new. That was fresh in the Army. When I first got into the Army, it was less than 6 months after they started paying out same-sex soldiers. So, like, that just became new. And me filing the paperwork was tooth and nail. Right. So, it was just like I was going through all these different aspects of having to be okay with being gay. And I just refused. Like, there was just a point where I just refused to take any turmoil around it. I was like, you know what? You just start cutting people off. Yeah. I was like, I don't care if you're family. I don't care if you're friends. I don't care. At this point, if you're not good with it, you're just not good with it. And that's just on you. That's not on me. That don't got nothing to do with me. And I just moved on. But I think with him seeing that reality, with him seeing how serious I was at that point to stand in it, and that I am an adult, you know what I mean? And that there was a point where, you know, and this goes for all parents who might go through either your child coming out or, you know, some type of transition like that in your life. Like, yes, you take care of these children. You know what I mean? You are their end-all, be-all right now. But there's going to be a point in their lives where they're going to make it and break it on their own. And the way that you react to this moment, them coming out, the way that you react to this moment right here is crucial to whether or not that communication continues. Because they will choose up. Mm-hmm. There will be, and it don't matter if they 65 or 15 or whatever. There's going to be a moment. I pray that everybody who is gay finds this moment for themselves where they choose up and they're like, you know what, I'm good. I would rather be me than be held down by all of that. You want to be on the right side of that story. You know what I mean? And I feel like my dad realized he was on the wrong side of that story at one point and was like, that's my daughter. Mm-hmm. And when that relationship switched for him, yeah, was just like, that was when he was like, okay. All right. Mm-hmm. And I never had any problems from that. And that was like I'd say like 3 years back. Yeah. That was like 3 or 4 years ago. So at this point, we smooth sailing, you know what I mean? All the hard parts about coming out was just the shit you see in the movies. I don't know. Like, I went through that type of shit. It was crazy.
Man, I can't imagine.
It was really crazy.
Yeah. And it's so weird, though, that I come from the complete opposite, like, surrounding area. Like, I didn't have, like, the gay clubs and all that stuff like that. We don't have a gay capital or anything like that. Like, I mean, now Philly is kind of like the gay and all that. But other than that, like, not back when I was worried about coming out. But, like, your family was more like, kind of, oh, okay, well. And then mine was, and we don't come from that. So it's like
super standoffish. My grandma, we didn't even talk about my grandma.
Yeah, that was a really tough
one.
Grandmas are also just like the dads. They're kind of hard to break it to.
Yo, she sat me in a room and she pulled out her scripture first and foremost. Like, talked to me, prayed with me, and told me that she knew that this was just a phase and that I did not know what I was talking about and that all these things that I was feeling was not fact and that she's okay with sitting with me through this phase while I figure it out because it's not who I am.
My dad called it a phase too.
I was like, She was like,
that's a
no.
signature quote.
She was like, no, absolutely, you are not. Like, my grandma told me who I was.
Wow.
The day she found out. I was like, wow. Because I left a poem somewhere where I was talking about girls, and I like girls, and I like big girls, little girls, tall girls, small girls. Like, it was like one of them type of poems.
All right, now.
And my grandma was like, you like what? No, you don't like none of this. Let me tell you what you don't like. None of that. I was like, wow.
So the whole thing away, Grandma?
Got it. She said, and that little friend you be calling wifey, stop calling her that. And it ain't your wifey. Marriages between a man and a woman. I was like, damn. But she hasn't, like, I don't know. I don't even know, honestly, if we ever reached a resolve or we ever had a conversation about the gay thing. But there was just a day where she just was cool with it. I don't know. It just was random. Just started asking
Just
me
like,
questions about
like
girlfriends. Yeah, like
just flip.
she just randomly just did not. She just, I don't know. She just stopped acting like that. Maybe my mom. My mom's a warrior. You know, she's probably in the background fighting for me all the time. And was like, y'all gonna stop treating my daughter crazy. My mom was probably back there chopping throats and shit, and everybody just fell in line one by one because my mom's that type. I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden people just started falling in line. It was like, yeah, she gonna do her. So we just gonna let her live. It's been like that ever since.
That's good, though.
I've been living.
At least it got better.
Yeah. My family cool. They alright. They know I'm on this gay shit. But if you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching our coming out stories.
Yes.
It's a lot, man.
It is a lot, and it's very tough on people who even have LGBT feelings. Like,
Yeah.
it's tough.
But
You
we
get
do
through
hope,
it.
we do hope you guys get through it. If you're going through it, just know we got through it. And if you ain't went through it yet, just know you can do it.
Right.
Alright?
It is very possible.
It's very possible.
Some people will be okay with it, some people won't, but I
is
mean,
what
let
it
the
is.
pieces fall where they may. Some people come around, like you've seen in our stories. Like, people come around after a little bit. You just have to stand firm in what you feel and believe in and kind of just go from there. If you need to do some cutting off in the meantime,
snip them.
do some snipping. And then if it comes to a point where you can talk it out and maybe revisit the thoughts, then do that. If not, that's also fine. It wasn't meant to be.
Right. But it's okay.
Yes. So make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video with your friends. And again, thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching. Bye.
Bye, guys.